This is the romantic compatibility between a Cancer and a Libra. So, Cancer is a water sign, which makes them very intuitive and emotional and very deep. And Libra, on the other hand, is an air sign. So they're much more logical. They're a little bit more about the mind. They're rational. They're very intelligent. And they're also very communicative as well. So Cancer as a water sign, sort of, they're not really good at the whole communication thing. They're more about like telepathy, like telepathic communication. So they sort of expect their partner to read their mind. Libra, on the other hand, they will say what they're feeling. If they want to say something, they'll say it, and they're really good with their words too. They're very charming as well. So the Libra can get kind of frustrated with the Cancer because they tend to internalize everything, but the Libra will really help the Cancer learn how to speak up and don't just bottle up your emotions. The Libra will really encourage their Cancer partner to actually talk about their community. To actually talk about their emotions and actually communicate what they're feeling rather than bottling it all up inside. And then the two, although they're opposites, we have the Cancer being very emotional and the Libra being a little more intellectual. It can be a good thing though because they can balance each other out. So the Libra can teach their partner Cancer to just not get all swallowed up in their emotions and communicate and also think more with a clear mind and don't always let your emotions get in the way. Whereas the Cancer can teach their partner Libra how to really lean into their emotions and feel more comfortable with their emotions and really develop their psychic powers and intuitive abilities. So the two of them can work really well together in that way. So Cancer is a cardinal sign, and Libra is also a cardinal sign. So we have two signs that really like to initiate things and start things and pick things up off the ground. So this is one of those connections that, like, when you two first meet each other, it's very likely that you'll just start flirting right away, and you'll things will pick up very quickly, very soon, because you both like to start things. You're all about new beginnings. So, and it's very likely that the beginning of the relationship will be come so naturally, and it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll just feel very smooth and go very easy. But just something you have to work on is as the relationship progresses, it is going to be a little more difficult. It's definitely easiest for the two of you right at the start in the beginning. But as long as you're willing to put in the work and really you're up for that challenge of commitment and staying with one another, then it's sure to be long lasting. So, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So, again, this is very highly emotional energy that the Cancer has. They also have like the phases of the moon. The Cancer goes through these phases, and people say that the Cancer can be very moody, and in some ways, it can come with a sort of unreliable and unsteady type of mood and behavior. So, the Cancer just gets really up in their emotions. The Libra, on the other hand, is ruled by Venus. So Venus is very kind and nurturing and giving. So both the moon and the Venus are highly feminine type of planets. So when the Libra and the Cancer get together, this is a very strong feminine energy. Regardless of physical gender, you have a lot of feminine energy coming in. So these are two people who are very sweet to one another, and I don't see it's very peaceful. You're not really likely to get aggressive with one another at all. There shouldn't usually be like any fighting or anything like too crazy. And it definitely goes beyond the physical too. Like, this is something that you really feel in your heart, and this is not the type of connection where you're thinking like, is it just about the physical stuff? Like, no, this is a very deep connection with one another. And yeah, and it's just sweet. You guys are both really sweet to each other and just very gentle and patient and kind with one another. And there's really not that much conflict typically. Um, yeah, you're not very likely to get that frustrated with each other. Um, so when it comes to the houses, the Cancer is ruled by the fourth house of home and family and stability, and the Libra is ruled by the seventh house of contracts and commitment and marriage and business partnership. So these houses go hand in hand because they are both about commitment, really. Because the Cancer being the fourth house, it craves stability and it really wants to know that it can be protective. Cancer really wants to feel safe. And Libra, on the other hand, in the seventh house, they also want to feel like they're part of a contract, that they're part of this commitment. So these are two signs that are very happy being in long term commitments. So even though I said earlier that the beginning of the relationship is going to be probably the easiest part, and you do have to work a little more as the relationship progresses, these are still two signs that really enjoy like being committed and being with one another. So obviously it depends on some other factors, but I feel like overall you really don't have to worry about like cheating. You don't have to worry about like sneaking around, and you especially don't have to be worried about someone getting bored in the relationship or anything, because these are two signs that they don't, boredom is not like a factor that gets to them. Like they would rather be feeling safe in a relationship. These are two people who want to feel protected with one another, and these are two people who can really they're happy to validate one another's feelings. So the Cancer might wake up one day and be like, "Do you still love me?" And the Libra will be like, "Yes, of course." But do you still love me? And the Cancer will be like, "Yes, of course." And some people are bothered by that constant need for security and validation. But when you have a Cancer and a Libra, you guys are very happy to remind each other that you are in this for the long run and this is a serious long-term thing. Um, so, when it comes to symbols, Cancer is ruled by the crab. So, the Cancer has this really protective shell, and they tend to keep things under the surface, especially when it comes to conflict and when Cancer is feeling threatened. They will cope by just running away. They will just completely shut down and they will dissociate from reality. And they might not even want to talk to you or even look at you at all, because the Cancer just wants to go away. Like it just has this huge, thick, protective armor. So the Libra comes in with this very sweet energy. So the Libra, just like any other sign, could get very offended when the Cancer just runs away completely. But the Cancer does feel much more safe around a Libra, because a Libra is not one who's gonna like just lash out at them. A Libra is not gonna be like overly emotional for no reason. Like a Libra is very level headed. So when a Cancer gets in their mood and they just want to hide away from the world, whether it's because they're annoyed with their Libra or they're upset about something totally completely different, completely beyond the control of the Libra will handle this in a very smooth and calm, collected manner, and they'll encourage the Cancer to actually talk about their emotions and talk about what's going on. And it's definitely a challenge to try to get into Cancer to speak about their emotions, but the Libra will really encourage this and really get them to open up. The Libra is symbolized by the scale. So, this is actually not even a human or an animal, but this is an object that the Libra is symbolized as. So it's not to say that the Libra has no emotions or that they're not human, but they're definitely the least craziest of the zodiac. They're just like very level headed, they're very balanced, and they want to keep things fair for everyone, themselves and other people. Um, Libra is really good at avoiding conflict because they can see the perspective of um, basically everyone involved in the situation. So they're even when they become frustrated with their Cancer, they can see and understand where their Cancer is coming from. And Cancer, being a very sensitive sign, really appreciates that and really feels very seen and heard by their Libra because of this. So, yeah, overall, it's definitely a peaceful relationship, and things tend to go pretty smoothly. Um, yeah, and when it comes to the chemistry, definitely lots of good chemistry between one another. Um, things might move a little things could move slow. I feel like at first things are pretty fast and then they kind of slow down. It's typical like and Libra balanced energy. It's like things might move quick, like you might become physical with one another very quickly, but then you kind of slow down and like pause and reassess and process your emotions and think like, all right, like am I ready for this? Am I ready to take this step? And then you go ahead and you move forward. And it's just a very balanced approach. So, yeah, I feel like there's this instant connection, there's this instant flirtation. Um, but then there is a little bit of hesitancy as to, like, all right, how fast should we actually move this relationship? And yeah, the Libra is very communicative about what they want. When it comes to the physical stuff, they will tell you if they enjoy something or if they don't enjoy something. They're very open about that. And the Cancer is just very, very sweet. They go very gentle and very tender too, and it's just yeah, it's very nice, very sweet. This is a very like cute and sweet and pure connection. So that's all I have. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out your other signs like your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus as well.